In the second half of this program, we're going to be talking about maybe two things in all actuality. We're going to first talk about, I guess, Five Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted 2 initial impressions of it. Excuse me there. If you don't know what Fnaf is, what are you doing listening to my show? I've talked about it like 500 quadrillion times, so I'm not even going to explain it to you. Horror game, scary robots, big movie came out. You know about it already, all right? But what you might not know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. There was a VR game made for it back in 2019 called Help Wanted. I think I described it already, talking about the lore of the series a good bit ago, right? However, finally, after Security Breach and then the DLC, which was sort of a we're sorry kind of thing called Ruin, they decided to make a sequel to Help Wanted called Help Wanted 2. Well, the first game was originally a PlayStation VR exclusive and then ended up getting ported over to PC and then Oculus Quest and then consoles and mobile because they made a flat mode because, of course, for a virtual reality game, it's designed first and foremost for VR experience. So certain aspects of a game of its kind that might not work super well in a VR scenario that would on a flat display end up sort of getting chopped out, and it kind of feels clunky. So I would say that if you were to play the first game, it's not really that good on console. I'm not going to lie to you. It also costs more than just buying the original 4 Fnaf games, which is basically what the first Help Wanted game was. It was a collection of mini games, and the second one isn't any different, but it was essentially a, shall we say, it was a collection of the first 4 games, segmented into each little night. And then you also had a couple of new ideas, parts and service, where you had to repair the robots and take stuff out and put stuff in and do it in the right order, or else you get jump scared. And there's vent repair, which is, again, a lot of it was just very simple puzzle solving and sort of memorization. But if you got it wrong, then you die. I was super duper terrified. I bought the game and I barely played it because I was like, ugh, I can't handle the scares. Because honestly, the whole thing is a lot scarier when you're actually in the environment. It's somewhat realistically rendered. It didn't look the best, mind you. It was Unreal 4. I think it was their first game for the series. Security Breach stepped it up a notch, a massive bit. And then VR 2, Help Wanted 2 is sort of an in-between. Because, of course, virtual reality, you can't make the game look as good because you're going to have to render 2 of the same monitor. It's like, let's say you have a computer monitor that, your game's rendering at that resolution. Imagine having to render double that because you have to render 2 of those, and then you have to render it twice as fast to get the right refresh rate so it can match, so it can actually, work good on a VR headset. Thankfully, I have a good computer, but I had trouble with that, especially with games like Half-Life Alyx back in 2020, although my computer now can probably run it. Anyways, it was cool, but VR 2, Help Wanted 2, is a much better game, in my opinion, and I'll quickly go into why, and then we can move on to the Christmas holiday discussion, which is, funnily enough, kind of tossed to the end, even though I suppose I said it was a Christmas special, but hey, you know what? That goes to show what's more on my mind right now. I got a copy of the game. I have an Oculus Quest 2 now. I had a Rift S. I still have it, but my dad, for some reason, bought a Quest 2 to quote-unquote work out with, and of course, he never used it, so guess what? It's mine now, baby. I've sideloaded a lot of cool stuff on it. Generally, I still prefer to plug it into my PC and just play the PC games because I have a PC and it runs better. But, of course, in terms of area mobility and all that, it's much better to have... I can play it on the headset itself. I can take it anywhere, all that stuff. It's really cool. But instead, I bought the improved head strap and the link cable, and it was a lot more money. But hey, you know what? I kind of needed it because the Rift S is a much better way to put the headset on compared to what the Quest 2 originally comes with. I know there's a 3rd gen out. I'm probably not going to buy it. It's like $500. There's no killer app for it. I'm pretty sure you can run everything on the Quest 2 anyways. And honestly, it's a lot of money, chap. I could just plug it into my PC and play PC games, even though PC VR is kind of on the downturn. that's besides the point. Help Wanted 2 at the moment is a PC VR and PlayStation VR exclusive game, or PSVR 2 for the PlayStation 5. It's built for the PlayStation VR 2, I guess. I think some mini games are exclusive to that because of certain features, but I don't care. A flat mode and the Quest port are going to come out in spring of next year. So if you can't play it now, wait till then. I'm just giving you my thoughts. One of the main things that the developer Steel Wool really wanted to hammer home is the fact that they wanted this game to be a lot more replayable than the previous game. Because, with Help Wanted, it kind of felt like you were done with the mini game and then that's it, you were finished, right? You just played the game, you played through everything, and that's it. They want the game to be more replayable. And the games that they've designed for it kind of come across like that. They're less just straight rip-offs, or maybe not rip-offs. They're less straight transforming, like they're less just taking the original Fnaf game loops and putting them into a VR scenario. Although I wish some of them were like that more. Because it was the first 4 games with some of the sister location characters, but in this game, it seems to be, with the teaser video, we thought it'd be sister location themed because it was like the elevator, but in all actuality, it's kind of a weird mishmash of like FNAF 6 up to now in terms of the setting. Most of it is from the new Security Breach universe but there's a weird mix of a lot of stuff. It's more of a game. I'll give you some examples of games. There is a shooting gallery type of game where it's pretty simple. You shoot targets, and there's a little meter, and if it goes below a certain point, if it gets too low, you get jump scared. That's how you lose. There's a whack-a-mole. Same thing. If you don't reach the goal amount of things whacked, and also if there's these little plush baby things that if you hit, you'll also get jump scared. The plush baby is a big component, and the baby animatronic is also a big component for some reason. It's weird. It does feel like more of a mishmash because like the characters on the main menu aren't the original 4. It's not even the Security Breach characters. It's like the Security Breach character, sister location, and I forgot the other one. Anyways, there's stuff like that. There's also more job-related things. For example, it's like a job simulator in VR where you're making food and you have to fulfill orders. And if you don't, you're done, right? Another one is you have to do like makeup or first aid on this little helpy thing. And it's pretty scary. And that one really does feel like FNAF 6, where you have to look into the vents and stop doing stuff with the 2 vents to the side of you. And the characters from FNAF 6 are there too anyways. It's a really interesting little mishmash. It's also like a log ride with a shooting gallery. There's bowling. You have to repair a carousel and check out for the enemies while they're there. It's a lot of interesting stuff. And the other interesting stuff, and then I'll probably get off this topic now. Maybe not. But the other interesting thing is your main play area. There's a lot more to it. You're not just stuck in one place, right? You can move around your area. It's a teleportation thing like a lot of VR games still are, even though full locomotion has been a thing in games like Boneworks for a while. Then again, it does cause motion sickness, and honestly, I do feel some of that motion sickness sometimes, especially with the log ride. I felt kind of weird. I stood up and I felt weird, so I decided to sit back down for it. I didn't really also have that much space in my room to play it because I was playing with the cable, originally the link cable, but for some reason the cable just keeps disconnecting on my PC and it doesn't work out right. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's my PC's. I think it's my motherboard with the singular USB-C port on it. But then there's this thing called AirLink where you can just connect it over Wi-Fi, and it actually works super well. I have a good enough internet connection where you don't really see any interlacing artifacts. You can plug in a standard USB to USB-C cable into your computer too, but it doesn't look as good. It looks kind of compressed, and I want it to look super nice. You know what I'm talking about? I want it to look good. So that's another thing, right? But the whole setup process is a lot more simple instead of having to plug in 2 separate cables. I don't know. The whole Oculus app is kind of messed up anyways, but it's cool, right? Although, unfortunately, when I stepped outside of my room and walked over across all my mom's room with a big area just to try it, it just wouldn't work. Even though I'm pretty sure there was a router right there. So, depending on how good your internet connection is, you should stay close to your computer regardless, right? Also, my PC isn't really good. It doesn't have a good Wi-Fi antenna. because the little plastic antennae that I'm supposed to screw onto it, I haven't done in the years that I've had this computer. Anyways. But you can move around your little area, and the more games you win, the more prizes you unlock. And these are either there's a weird variety of them. There's collections of robots and things like that, where you can sort of look at it as a viewing gallery and you can see them up close. There's you get certain items that will just appear around your pizzeria. So it's kind of like the Pizzeria Sim game and a lot of the items and stuff come from it too. And it does make sense because it seems this game is set after it. But I found this, and there's a lot of like little things that you can't really get into without you like unlock stuff like the Faz wrench and like laser gun and things like that. These things that you need to get from previous games. But I guess, and I think I'm kind of spoiled. I think I kind of spoiled myself on some of the endings because there's also multiple endings, and I think they're a little bit more involved this time, but they're like less impactful story-wise because not really setting up. It's just sort of a. Well, I'm not gonna say when it takes place because I think that's a spoiler too. But it takes place. You know what I mean. It's less relevant. It's less impactful, 100%. But ooh, this one's fun. I'll say one secret, and I find it really interesting. Basically, one time I took my headset off today, and I didn't notice until today. I put it back on, and my area was totally different. So, if you've played Ruin, I think you know what I'm talking about. Do what you think you could do in the game, and it will happen, and you will be surprised. Because a lot of these, I don't know what else is in the game that just isn't explained to you at all, and you have to find it, but that's really fun. Also, it's scary, and also you can turn the jump scares off. You can disable the volume. Still scary to me. I lost at the advanced, I guess the highest level of the medical weird surgery one, where you have to like kind of perform surgery on a little helpy animatronic while looking around the vents. One I already said. Oh, this one was hard. I didn't know what I was doing half the time, and I guess I let the enemy get too close without like quieting the thing down. Dude, that thing, Scrap Baby, was coming out of the vent, and I was like leaning back, like ugh, and then I still got jump scared. I was still terrified, even though there was no there's no scream volume. So big ups to Steel Wolf for turning it down. I actually don't feel like the game is as scary in a good way, that it's like nigh impossible, because you don't feel as trapped. You can do more with it. You know what I mean? I feel like the rules are more simple explained. The games are simpler. You don't have to move as much. And also, it feels like, especially in the initial stages of each one, because most of these are just a few mini games with increasing difficulty, they're a lot more lenient, and I appreciate that. But it still stresses you out. Stuff like arts and crafts was challenging because I didn't really know where to grab things, what to do, what the solution was half the time. And it's fun doing that because a lot of it is just sort of hitting a time limit or else you're dead. Doing it within a time limit. And I assume it'll get harder. But hey, FNAF Help Wanted 2 is great. I think it's really cool. If you are invested, I don't know how many people are going to actually buy this game, but I mean, if you're invested in it, it's good. I feel like, I don't know how much I'm actually going to go ahead and replay some of these mini games and stuff to get the high score. I feel like I have more fun just replaying the FNAF stuff. There's also sister location straight sister location rips from stuff like the Blower Gallery, which, dude, that one was scary. And I guess the last thing I'll say, unlike the equivalent in Help Wanted, you don't just move your joystick. You have to physically move your arms to crawl across the ground. I thought that was so cool. But yeah, I mean, when it comes out to the Quest, it'll be fun, right? Looks pretty good too, not perfect. I had to increase the render resolution because of the link or whatever. I don't know. I guess I had to do that to make sure it would stream properly. It won't look as good, but like, yeah. Also, it costs $10 more than the first one, especially that one's not on sale. The new one's not on sale. It's $40 versus the $30. The $30. I think it's worth the money if you invested enough, and I think it has enough content to make it worthwhile. But that's my 2 cents. So make your own decision. Yeah, thank you. Okay, the final topic, Christmas. Ooh, so it's been interesting. I felt like this season has come so quickly that I don't even know what to do, right? Like, this is like my first year in a long time, and I'll admit this and I'll feel bad about this, that I've like given gifts and stuff. I don't know. I was a spoiled kid. I didn't really do that. And also, I was just too lazy or something. I don't know. Giving and getting gifts to me wasn't really an important thing in my life. Maybe because for some people might have thought, hey, like, you already get whatever you want. You don't have to do that. But, the longer I've been around this planet and the more that people have given me gifts, well, obviously they're giving me out. Like, when it's a meaningful thing, I like that. And I've gotten better at sort of doing that. I've been told, say that, like, oh, I might be selfish with, like, not wanting to spend money on other people as much. And I get that. Like, I was debating over getting a $15 cup or something for, like, a friend of mine for Christmas, right? Which I ended up doing. You don't know who it's going to be. You don't know. You don't even know. They don't know. No, but seriously, like, I don't even know. I don't know. I had trouble with that. Maybe because I was a bit of a penny pincher, even though I probably waste a lot of money. I don't know. I've been becoming more financially conscious recently. And, trying to save more money, not just spend all the money that's given to me. I'm getting better at that, I think. I'm in a way better place than a lot of people with regards to that, so I have to be grateful and give back to people. Also, it just feels good to help people, make people happy. I like it. I like doing it too. So what's the deal? Of course, I don't think the gift giving is really a big part, but people try to phrase it as that. I don't think it should be a big part. Purchasing expensive things, no. Making or finding something that you think is meaningful, that's what I like about gifts. Something that I think espouses meaning. That I know you, I care about you. Here's something to show my appreciation. And the thought, maybe the effort, maybe the financial incentive for it is a good thing, right? Gifts aren't just really just like, I don't know. And it's kind of related to the one Christmas movie I've really seen. I saw like a couple days ago. I watched all of the How the Grinch Stole Christmas animated a little short film from, the Chuck Jones one, the really nice one, the classic. And also, I saw a decent chunk, and then had to stop it, of Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live-action Universal one that came out in like the, I think, late 90s, early 2000s. I saw the set on the studio tour in Universal Hollywood a few times, and I always thought that was pretty cool, but I'd never seen the movie. And, I've seen a lot of positive and negative reception. Honestly, I think my thoughts were kind of clouded by the Nostalgia Critic review and also the discourse around the Mike Myers, the Cat in the Hat live-action film, which, in my opinion, was kind of a way to try and recapture some of the success with Jim Carrey with a similarly kooky actor. But it didn't work as well. Carrey is just a really good physical comic, really good physical actor. His suit, it's gross, but he's just really good. I just want to see Jim Carrey do Jim Carrey stuff, his classic stuff. And we got that in spades with this movie, so I was very happy with that. I also liked, Ellie noted this, and I think it's because she actually remembers seeing this movie fondly, but never fully seen the original. I think maybe I might be wrong on this. Tell me if I'm wrong, But the gift giving and the sort of consumerist aspect of Christmas was a bigger part, and I actually kind of felt that. I haven't seen the full movie, so I actually don't know how it ends, and it's kind of dumb of me to say that, but I don't want to finish. If I start watching a movie with someone, I'm not going to finish it on my own. Like, that would just make them feel bad, But they're just like shopping a lot and the purchasing the gifts. It was all just really crazy. People criticizing, oh, the Who's look kind of scary, and I think they look all right. So I liked that movie. Shout out to that. I thought it was cool. And, shout out to the holiday season, The meaning of Christmas for me. Well, of course, my family is not Christian, so we don't celebrate in that sense. Then again, a lot of secular households still celebrate it. So, we have the tree, we have the stockings. I think I don't know, I think the stockings on the fireplace. I like that the most. I'm going to talk, it's not super personal, but it's like a family little inside of me. I think my mother always puts this up every year. Shout out to my mom if you're listening. Love you. she puts 3 colored stockings, green, white, and purple, I think. And I forget which color is which. But I believe it's the tree, the snowman, and the snowflake. And I remember my dad being the tree is sort of the backbone of the family. I'm like the kid, so I'm like the snowman, and mom's like the sparkle, the snowflake. I think my dad was green, my mom was white, and I was the purple one. And like these sort of like, I don't know what to call them, little foil, reflective foily, shiny things with the circles. I don't know. I always thought that was cool. That was some cute little meaning, and it meant a lot to me just hearing about that growing up, and what that symbolism meant. It's my father being sort of the backbone, the financial breadwinner and the guy who would protect us and all that stuff. Shout out to Dad. Shout out to my dad. Love you. Mother's sort of like the light. I don't know. Mom stuff. I don't remember too much. I didn't consult her. I didn't consult my family before doing this episode, mind you. This is my own recollection off the top because I don't have a script anymore. I'm not reading a script right now. I'm just talking off the top of my head. And I think I'm doing a pretty darn good job. I don't know if anyone's listening to this. Shout out to all the FARK listeners if they are. I'm going to keep posting on there, by the way, even if they don't put me up as much. I'm going to keep doing it because I got swag, and I'm going to keep posting because shout out to KUCI and shout out to that website because they've shown some people much love. And I'll show any audience much love. Let's see what else. We give gifts. Well, my parents give me gifts. My mom will give stuff to my dad and stuff, and they'll do that. I didn't end up thinking enough to, sorry to my parents who are listening. I don't have a gift this year. I don't know. Maybe I'm not in that age, but I should have. I don't know. It's at that point where I just didn't end up doing it. Next year, hopefully. All right. I feel bad just saying this on air, but I'm just going to admit this right now, because we got to be real and honest because we're based like that. But yeah, I got a gift from my girlfriend, a gift from my best friend. So, we got that at least. And, we'll see how that goes. I wonder, I don't know. It's just cool. At this point, I'm always the guy. I get clothing now for Christmas, and I actually like that. Pajamas, socks. People are like, oh, I think it's a common trope in like media. It's like, oh, the adult doesn't want socks. When you're an actual adult, you actually really do want socks. Because honestly, dude, shout out to socks. They're so hard to like get a new. Like people just don't realize how good a new pair is. Like I bought a bunch last year, and I'm still wearing them, and they're not even that worn out yet. I think when I was in Sweden last year. I don't think I'm traveling this break at all, which is kind of sad but kind of cool. I think I might go up to the mountains or something. Shout out to the holidays. It's me, Jeff Goldblum. I want to wish you all happy holidays. Sorry, I slipped into a fugue state right there. But yeah, let's see. What else can I say? I don't know how much else there is to talk about, but shout out to the holidays. I'm gonna spend some time with my family. I think my mom wants to go up, so I might have to go I might have to go up with her, which might mess up my plans with my girlfriend. But my family, her. I think she's busy with her family. My friends, everyone's busy with their families on the holidays. I gotta be busy with my family. What am I doing? Even though only my pops can't go. So hey, what are you gonna do? So yeah, and if you celebrate a different holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever, I don't know. That's the usual 3 that people say. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody, even if you don't celebrate anything, if you think Christmas is stupid and consumerist or whatever and too Judeo-Christian or whatever you want to say, shout out to you. Shout out to you just for being alive, honestly. You're sitting here right now. If you're listening to this like on YouTube, if you're listening to this in your car, on your phone, or on your computer, in a web browser, or through a different website or something, or if you're getting a speech-to-text transcription because you're like blind or something, shout out to you. All right, shout out to everybody who's listening to this program right now. I'm not gonna get super sentimental because we're not done with the quarter yet, and we're moving into. I will do a New Year's episode of the show, so then I'll talk about my year's accomplishments and sort of toot my own horn, pat myself on the back, just have some fun, because we're in the celebrations. We're in the celebration part, we all grinded out. We did our quarter. We did all that. We just had a good time, and we're done. We're finally done. It's the end of my first week of break. I got 2 more weeks to go. I'm starting work. I think we're on the up and up in life. And even if you're not on the up and up in life, I love you and I'm listening to you right now. And, it's all great. All fine and dandy. Everything's going to be okay. And if they're not, hopefully they'll get better. And if they don't, I'm sorry. I think that's it for the program. You can follow me on Instagram at BASEDTUNESKUCI on Instagram and basedari.com, BASEDARI.com. So yeah, let's see what else we got. 2 minutes. Caterpillar march. Thumb. Downside up. I'm trying to find a couple of thingamabobs to listen to put on while we do this. So 1 second. One second. Because I want to make sure the other song I can actually play to make sure there's no. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and play 2 songs from Kyuss again because that's just what I've been feeling like, We're going to play 100 Degrees from Welcome to Sky Valley. And then we're going to play here we go. Let's see. And then we're going to play Molten Universe. So we're going to listen to those. Shout out to all the listeners out there. Again, it's bass tunes. Oh, looks like it's 5:27. We don't have time for that. Okay. In that case, let's talk 10 more seconds. 3, 4. Sorry. Also, last thing. Remember, stay bass, everybody. All right, partner. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. It's Freddy's Friday. And be sure to listen to Operation Community with Ann right after Molten Universe by Kyuss. This has been Bass Tunes on KUCI at 8.9 FM in Irvine. I've been Ari. Go to Bass Tunes KUCI on Instagram to follow me, basedari.com to check out more of my stuff. And the views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect those of KUCI, its management, or Board of Regents. UC Board of Regents. If you want to check out more, find out more about that, KUCI.org. Thanks for listening. I love y'all. Happy holidays, happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I love you. Stay based. Have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend. Bye. Enjoy Molten Universe by Kyuss.